Beaudreault.
There we go. Okay, we're here with Spencer Beaudreault, and I should have that the dialect, being that I'm French English, but oh well.
When you're in Canada, that's where the name originates in Canada. It's up in Quebec, so you should be on point with this.
I should. Yeah, the should is the operative word there. But welcome, Spencer. Spencer is the founder and CEO at Hero WSC Wellness Supplements and Extracts. And we're bringing you on today because you have quite the story of how you got here, being that you came from a sports background. So you are somewhat of a hero, getting through the trauma that you've experienced and how you got to where you are now. So welcome, Spencer.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah. How's that? You're in Florida, right?
Yes, I live in Tampa, Florida. I moved down here from Connecticut. That's where I'm originally from, in 2012. So I've been here a little over 9 years. And yeah, it's my home now. I love it down here. The weather's beautiful. I've had so much growth down here. It's a great city. It's an up and coming city as well. So yeah, I'm in love with Tampa.
Amazing, amazing. We'll have to get down there when things open up a little bit.
For sure.
Although I pretend like I'm living in sunny Palm Springs or something. It's about -2 today here in Canada.
Oh man, yeah, that's on a whole nother level for me.
Totally. So Spencer, what brought you to Tampa? You were professional football, is that right?
So I played not professional. I played Division I up in Connecticut at Sacred Heart University. I was there for a short period. I ended up tearing my ACL and just went into a dark hole with, not only the pain, not only like the identity crisis, and everything that comes with, being a star athlete, hurting themselves in a traumatic way like that. It takes a real toll, not on your physical, but on your mental. So, I kind of was figuring some things out. I went back home, got into some rough stuff, and just had an epiphany, like I need to get the hell out of here. And I kind of picked up and, I just, trusted my faith and moved on to Tampa, went to University of South Florida. Figured I'd give football another shot. Didn't really work out too well with, having a full, having to pay for school instead of having a scholarship and trying to play. It was just hard for me. So, I didn't end up playing at USF, ended up graduating, got my degree in criminology, and then, just went the entrepreneurial route.
Yeah, and you're enjoying it. Things are going well.
I love it. Yeah. I absolutely love being an entrepreneur, running my own business, creating things, being creative, working with people, building relationships. Like I thrive off of that shit. And, it's something that I love to do, just stuff like this. This is, this feeds my soul.
Yeah, mine too. I think that your story is great, and it's not so unique. I think that's a common sports injury, right? Yeah, and what were you doing, like for therapies and stuff, right? I mean, how did you get from here to cannabis?
Man, so when I moved down to Florida, I couldn't give up the whole football thing. I really wanted to give it one last shot. It was very hard for me to rehab with my ACL. I just couldn't. Every time I would cut, my knee would give a little bit and then it would swell up. So I was somebody that could do things at such a high level and with such confidence, and now you just can't do it at all. And it's insane. So I really tried to, rehab myself and get back to playing. I actually got offered a small contract to go play over in Europe, in France. They have like kind of developmental leagues out there, and they try to introduce the sport into the different countries. So I played out there, I lived out there for a little bit, and then ended up tearing my ACL again. And yeah, it was, but at that point I'm like, all right, I'm over this. This is enough of this.
Yeah.
And then from there, I transitioned into personal training, cause I came back home. I kind of was just like devastated. I'm like, what can I do with my life? I don't know what I'm going to be doing. And that's when I'm like, what, I'll become a personal trainer. I always kind of just, shrug that off. Like, I'm not going to do that. But I fell in love with it, started doing it on the side, helping people. It just like, it was so fulfilling, the types of things that people would say to you, when you're putting them through badass workouts and, helping them lose weight and stuff like that. And then
They
like the
ask,
stuff,
don't they?
oh my God. Yeah. They would be like, oh, thank you so much. You've changed my life, and that type of stuff. It just really like just rush of euphoria, from those types of things. So yeah, I grew my business, grew a name for myself in Tampa. And then I saw an opportunity in the hemp space. I always use cannabis as I always use it recreationally, but I saw, more of this, take a different mindset and use it a little more mindfully and therapeutically, and it can really change your life. So when I started developing that, I'm like, I got to get into this. And I saw opportunity with CBD, and how I can put my fitness niche on it. And that just evolved to where we're at now with Hero.
Isn't that something? Most users, and I've found that we're using recreationally, did so without the knowledge that we have now, which was it was making you feel something, but we didn't really know the actual case study around the therapeutic benefits, not just for the body but for the mind as well. And coming through PTSD and all these things you were experiencing, not with your old self, let's say, it's kind of gives you that grounding. Okay, so you can reflect a little bit more, and things aren't just impacting you the way that they normally might.
Oh my God, yeah. Like once I started using, herbs more mindfully with a specific intention. They say in like yoga and different practices, like set your intention, set your mind to something specific, and that makes all the difference. And it's really true. Like when you use, whether it be CBD, Delta 8, or cannabis in general, when you use it more mindfully for a specific purpose, and you do it in a way to where like you dose properly, you have the right terpenes, you have the right delivery method, you're around the right people, like all that stuff, like all those little variables, like they play such a huge role in the experience that you have. So if you can really fine tune that, I mean, to me, like it's spotty, like I'm still getting a better feel for it because it's experimentation, but like there are times where I feel like it's a performance enhancer, 100%. And it's amazing. It's like, wow, if I can just harness that and channel it somehow, some way, like I'm going to make a difference. And that it had such a profound effect on me, not only cannabis, but psilocybin as well.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me about that. So we have Fun Guy Friday coming up, and we're talking to microdose, and really it is about kind of that balance and finding out honestly what works for you, that right dose and right methodology, or whatever you want to call it. But before we jump into the psilocybin, because I am interested in that, so you took I guess all of that experimental, and you met a partner, did you not, in Las Vegas?
Yeah. So actually, when I got into the industry, I was doing it was more so as like an advocate, right? And I started really promoting myself as like a cannabis trainer, somebody who blends fitness and cannabis. It was always a thing. It was just more of an underground thing that I was bringing to light. And I kind of started making that name for myself. I was doing these educational, so I was doing THC Tuesdays, and I was doing essentially they're like interactive PowerPoint type of things that I was doing on Instagram, like stories. And I would educate people every Tuesday on some type of cannabis related stuff or CBD. And then as I was doing that, the gentleman that owns the training facility that I used to run my business out of, Tampa Sports Academy here in Tampa, Dr. Jeff Watson, he caught wind of me doing these PowerPoints, and he's like, "Hey, like come in, I want to talk to you. I want to tell you kind of some of the things that we're doing." We came together, chatted, and from there he kind of just acted as my mentor in the industry and helped me kind of navigate my way and kind of steer the ship, here and there, and giving me great advice. And then, that led to us becoming business partners. He's got an operation out in Las Vegas called Los Cana, which has they have their licenses and they're gearing up to distribute product out there in Vegas, which is exciting, very soon. So, we have an opportunity, hopefully in the near future, to, roll underneath that umbrella and, be a full stream, cannabis company.
That's our goal. That's exciting. So you do have, so Hero is yourself, and you've got Jeff partnering with you, kind of where maybe the formulations is that where he dives in and gives some of the I guess clinical know-how.
Yeah. He comes, so he's by trade also he's a biochemist. So he has a biochemistry background. So he brings the science, he brings the knowledge, and then also the business development too. He's an awesome entrepreneur. So I learned a shit ton from him on the business side of things and just how to move correctly, what to look for, how to think in certain situations. It really, I wish that everybody that is an entrepreneur or some business owner has some type of a mentor, and look at it like that. You have to, like, that is, it's invaluable. That role is just invaluable. So yeah, and I mean, not only do I have Dr. Watson, but I also have my business partner Eliza.
Yes.
Eliza, yes, she owns a
Great. We've spoken a few times, and
yeah,
I mean, she's got that marketing eye, and
yeah.
really, your products look so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she's got a lot to do with that.
Oh my God, does she? Yeah. So I credit her fully for all of that and really elevating the brand, and taking us to a new level. So she owns a digital marketing agency in Long Island, and her father, Hunter, is actually the leading attorney for the US opioid case. So when it comes to plants over pills, like, we are just fully engulfed in it. Like, that's what we are, that's who we are, that's what we're pushing. Just on with Dr. Watson on the medical side, Eliza, her personal experience with it, her father in the case, and then myself and my experience with it, just the full circle.
That's amazing, and I got goosebumps actually. Those opiate cases are, I mean, it's groundbreaking.
Yeah.
The way that we were thinking before obviously wasn't working as a
Right.
society, and doctorates, prescribing all of these hard, pharmaceuticals on patients for pain. And look at you,
Yeah.
you're living proof that there is a better wellness approach with supplements and extracts that are not necessarily, those that you would get behind the counter. So
Right.
so then how does psilocybin fit into there? Because Hero does not have a psilocybin SKU that I know of, but
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. So yeah, I'm a huge advocate for psilocybin. I was telling you before that I had gotten that little contract to play over in France. So when I lived over there, I blew out my knee, right? And from at that point, I asked the team, I'm like, hey, before I go back, because they're about to bring on another American player to take my place, right? I'm like, before I go back, just can you please give me a little bit of time to travel? I've never been overseas before. I want to experience some new things, and backpack a little bit. I'm not afraid. Yeah, I'll go. I'll take a backpack and I'm good.
With your spare leg and everything, let's just go.
Yeah. So I went to Amsterdam, was my first place that I went to. I went to Amsterdam by myself in, I think, 2015. And on one of the days there, I had gone to one of the head shops, one of the smoke shops, and they had mushrooms there. And I bought some mushrooms. They were Ecuadorian, and that's what they were called. They have like different, yeah. So these were the Ecuadorian, and I end up just asking one of my buddies back here in Tampa. I'm like, hey, dude, like, this is really my first time doing it. Like, what should I do? He's like, bro, just explore, just go explore. And I'm like, all right. And I took them and had the most amazing experience by myself in Amsterdam, just roaming the city, doing different things, saying hi to people, being in my own element, feeling a rush of euphoria all at once, having to go chill out. Like, it was a very like groundbreaking just moment for me, one of the most profound moments in my entire life. And they say like 3 out of 5 people will say that it's one of the most profound experiences in their lives. And it was for me. It changed my life. It helped me fire in different ways. It helped spark my creativity. It helped my anxiety. It helped change my perspective on so many different things. And I didn't even know that it could do that. Now, all the reading that I've done and all the experimenting I've done and all the self therapy that I've done, I've really like figured out that, oh my God, like, these work so well for people. How do we build it to where that, you can microdose, or, you can take a specific dosage, set and setting, like I like to go hiking. Hiking's my thing. So I'll take them on.
Outdoors is a must. It's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
here with mushrooms. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You're one with nature.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
It's
that's my
amazing,
approach.
they're using them for mental health. It is Mental Health Month here at His Lives, and I think that we are a little all mad here, and that's the theme. And that's not saying we're angry and that we're confused and that we're depressed. We actually are all of those things at some point in our lives, and I think that just that grounding with the nature, and again, just that holistic approach to just kind of detaching yourself from the chaos, you realize that maybe there was something underlying, and we
Right.
don't always think, hey, I've got something going on. We're going through those repetitive motions and just kind of keeping up day to day with a smile on our face, and there could be something underlying that once you can detach, it's like wow, and that epiphany
Yeah.
can kind of take shape. So
And what I love about mushrooms and psilocybin too is just it's the ego dissolution. Like it literally dissolves your ego. You're not worrying about comparing yourself. You're not worrying about little life constraints that we put on ourselves just as natural human beings. So the fact that it's like it's able to wipe that slate clean and kind of put you at a very neutral, very present stage, like that, it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing that I think, it really needs to be harnessed.
amazing. Well, that's what we're doing when I come to Tampa. So that's
Yeah.
for sure. So what do you have on your line right now? You've got some D8 products. Now for Canadians, D8, explain it, because I'm well rehearsed on D8, but I feel like it's a legal loophole for Americans. Is that my understanding?
Essentially. So the way that I like to explain it is that Delta 8 is a compound very similar to CBD, right? It has most of the medicinal benefits that CBD has. However, with CBD not having any psychoactive effects or psychoactive nature to it, we found that Delta 8 actually has mild psychoactive effects to it. So the way that we compare it to traditional cannabis is it probably has 50 to 60% of the psychoactive strength that traditional cannabis would have. The thing is, Delta 8 is legal because it's derived from hemp. It's not derived from cannabis.
Right.
And so it's derived from so it's extracted from CBD. CBD is extracted from hemp, and then the Delta 8 is extracted from the CBD, because it's very hard to find much Delta 8 in any one given plant. So you have to do it this way in order to really fully extract it. So we created some awesome products with Delta 8. It being legal in 38 states here in the US. 11 or 12 of those states, they declared it illegal because of the way that they're looking to tax it. So it's all a money thing. It doesn't have to do with any type of wrong versus right type of thing. But yeah, we have Delta 8 gummies, we have Delta 8 capsules, and we also have this Delta 8 sativa terpene vape. So I put lemon OG terpene profile in here, which with terpenes, more of a sativa approach will give you more of an uplifting daytime type of feel, and that's more my vibe because I want to be productive. So
That's the linolene.
Limonene.
Limonene.
Yeah, limonene. So in every strain, there is a different terpene profile, like different ratio of limonene to pinene, and like so there's all these different combinations of terpenes, and they react with all of our bodies differently based on how our endocannabinoid system is. So what makes your sativa and your indica different is the terpene profile, and like the THC content and stuff like that. So once you find like what works for, it's experimentation. Like some people have bad experiences with cannabis because they're not smoking the right shit. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I find it's gummies. That's the one that I can smoke, and it could have the exact same profile as a gummy. Something about ingesting it in my body, I am like, I look like I'm swimming in butter, is what I've been told.
You're melting.
But good sleeps. And so what do you have? I guess your recommendation for your different product lines. I know that you do have the one that's more of that mellow, and that's the gummy for nighttime and more of that relaxation
Right.
vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have 20 milligram grape Delta 8 gummies, and those are more for rest and recovery. We've had great feedback on how they help with sleep, with relaxation and anti-anxiety type of effects. 20 milligrams is on the higher side, so we recommend new users either eat a quarter or eat a half to start to feel it out before they take the full 20 milligrams. But aside from the Delta 8 gummies, we also have CBD/CBN honey chamomile gummies, and those are awesome for sleep as well. We got that new flavor out there, so we're excited about that too.
That's amazing. Now, I guess you can't make any claims or recommendations, but something like those honey ones, because I do get asked by parents when it
Mhm.
comes to kids with anxiety and behavioral, they need something just to kind of zen them. And of course, Ritalin's just being prescribed off the shelves. But I, in my experience, would see something like that honey and think, well, that would be probably safe for my child because it's CBD and it's intended for what you say.
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. And to touch on that, so these specific gummies, because of the CBN, I would say they're more geared towards nighttime. You could use them like, I guess, in the evening to kind of wind down, but I would say they're more geared towards sleep because of the CBN. So the way that I describe CBN is another version of CBD. It's just a juiced up sleep version of CBD. So it's awesome as a sedative. It's like it comes from aged cannabis and aged hemp, so it's like aged wine.
Oh,
Yeah, it works great for sleep. So, but yeah, I mean, a lot of these products have dual purpose. But we market it and we communicate about it in a certain way to where it kind of touches at least a niche pain point.
amazing, amazing, and you guys marketed it so well.
Right.
We've got definitely some promotions going on from time to time through Hip Life through you guys, and that's awesome.
Love it. Thank you
Unfortunately,
for
we
your
can't get to
support.
here in Canada yet, but
Right.
hopefully that opens up the market. So where do people find you, Spencer, and your products and everything else? How do we get in touch here?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Suspense Fitness, SUSPENCE Fitness. And then you can find our website at www.herowse.com. And our Instagram is hero_WSE.
Amazing, amazing. So we'll put those links up there for everybody, and totally appreciate your time today, and love what you're doing. I think it
Thank you.
comes from a great story, and the future is definitely looking bright in Tampa, literally. So we are happy to be kind of working with you and watching you grow. So thank you.
Likewise, thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Okay, see ya.